Good morning. Good morning. Happy Thursday. Peace and blessings. It's your boy Jay Taylor, Voices for the Voiceless, and welcome back. Um, Today is the 4th of June. We are in a new month. Got a different topic today. A very serious topic that I think that needs to be addressed. That I'm surprised so many other people are not talking about. And as the title says, Rick Chow acquitted. My thoughts on the Cyrus Carmack-Belton case. And this is a case that I had no knowledge of until the other day, until the announcement that Rick Chow was acquitted. And before I get to my personal thoughts, I just want to run through the chain of events that happened so people that may not be aware can be up to speed on what actually happened. On May 28th, 2023, so this was over 3 years ago when this incident happened, at a Shell gas station in Columbia, South Carolina, 14-year-old Cyrus Carmack-Belton, a young black boy, was shot and unalive by gas station owner Rick Chow, which is an Asian man. So Chow was accused, no, Chow had accused Cyrus, the 14-year-old boy, of shoplifting bottles of water, right? Now, they showed the footage. There's footage out there that shows Cyrus in the store where he went into the cooler section, grabbed 4 bottles of water, right? The footage is clear as day. Grabbed 4 bottles of water and put the water right back into the cooler like he changed his mind and left out of the store. Now, as he's walking around the store, you see, Cyrus walking out the store, and you see the owner following behind him, like harassing him. Like, at what point was he a threat? Now, he didn't purchase anything, but you have the right to change your mind if you don't want to purchase something, right? And then you see him leave the store, and the footage shows him leaving the store, didn't buy anything, didn't steal anything, didn't bother anybody, walked out the store casually, and you see footage of Chow chasing behind him, and you see Cyrus take off running, right? That's the footage that I've seen. No, nothing incriminating, right? Now, Chow's son was there as well. I guess he works in the store, and they started to chase Cyrus, and Chow himself followed. So both the owner and his son followed him out, and Chow was armed with a pistol. The 14-year-old boy Cyrus tripped and fell at some point before getting back up. That's what Chow's son said. Cyrus had a gun. Now, this is after he left the store. Why are you chasing him? Chow shot and unalived Cyrus approximately 150 feet away from the gas station. So they're not even in the gas station. Why are you following this boy, chasing him down the block? They say a gun was found near Cyrus's body, but was never pointed at Chow or his son. What the investigation at that time said, Chow was then charged with murder, rightfully so. In trial, the defense argued that Cyrus pointed the gun at Chow's son and that Chow fired to protect his child. Now, that wasn't the original investigation. But now all of a sudden in trial, as he's running away, we clearly see him in the footage running away. He pointed a gun as he's running. I mean, make that make sense. How is he running away from you and pointing a gun at you at the same time? Highly unlikely. Possible, but highly unlikely. And the original investigation never substantiated that, but in trial, this was their defense. Chow's son and Andy Chow testified that he yelled to his father that Cyrus had a gun. He also testified that he told the 14-year-old Cyrus to drop the gun. And he said the teen refused to drop the gun before his father opened fire. Pause. If you chasing this boy down the street, telling him to drop the gun, you're not the police. Even if he had a gun, I don't care. If he's running away from you, he poses no threat to you. You have no law enforcement, from my knowledge, for you to be disarming anybody. Why would this boy have a gun in the first place? Just going to go buy some water or bottles of water or whatever the case may be. It doesn't make any sense. The state did not dispute. This is interesting. The state did not dispute that Cyrus had a 9mm pistol with a laser on him that night, but prosecutors argued he had no intention on using it. So the state picked up this case. It wasn't no attorney that the family hired. This was the state, which is very interesting to note. And they said they never denied that he had a pistol, but they argued that he had no intention on using it. Which I say again, doesn't matter if he's running away from you. On June 1st, which was the other day, 2026, after more than 8 hours of deliberations, a jury found Rick Chow not guilty in the unaliving of Cyrus Carmack-Belton. How did a jury of 12 people, clearly seeing the footage that I've saw, unless there's something else that I haven't seen, walk away with a not guilty verdict of a 14-year-old child that obviously posed no threat, that was chased down the street away from your establishment? How do you justify shooting and unaliving this young man, this young boy, 14 years old, over what you say 4 bottles of water that we clearly see that he took out the cooler and put right back into the cooler? Rick Chow, this is something that we have to understand. This man, Rick Chow, the owner, has a history of shooting, harassing, fighting his patrons that he, quote unquote, accuses of shoplifting. Rick Chow was in 2 previous shootings. In 2015, a woman he suspected of stealing 2 cases of beer and a package of boiled peanuts left out the store, got in the car with another guy. Chow came out into the parking lot, got into a confrontation with it. This is in 2015, and then shot at the man and the woman as they drove off. No one was injured. In 2018, Chow observed a man concealing a can of Easy Off cleaner without paying for it. Followed him outside, a fight broke out, and Chow fired 2 shots at the man as he ran off. The man was shot as he fled, went to the hospital and was treated, pleaded guilty to shoplifting that later on, and he received 30 days in jail and a $300 fine, and no charges were filed against Chow. At what point do you question this man's connections with law enforcement, where he keeps evading being found? I mean, as you have to call, if your life is not in danger and someone is shoplifting out of your store, you have no right to take a pistol and try to take someone's life over 4 bottles of water, over some easy off cleaning substance. I mean, these items can't even cost altogether $20. But you're telling me this man has a license to kill. 2 weeks ago, I just saw footage of this man, Rick Chow, harassing a group of female, young girls, where he locked the door, accused them of stealing something, locked the door, grabbed one of the girls, assaulted her, threw her in the headlock, threw her on the ground, assaulted this young girl because he accused them of stealing out his store. Now, make no mistake. I understand a lot of time you got a business, people come into your establishment and they steal, that's one thing. Hire some security. Call the authorities. But you have no right to put your hands on people, shoot at people, and unalive children. So often in our community, and I'm going to say it, these Chinese, Asian people have these establishments, these stores. They treat our people like scum. You know, they feel as though they're better. Now, when you talk about racism, yeah, a lot of these Asians are racist, and they are a protected class in our society. Back in 2021, the federal government, they put together, Kamala Harris, the Democrats and them, put out legislation, the Asian hate crime bill, giving these people $26 billion. These people get away with murder when it come to our people, the treatment of our people. Yeah, they set up shop. They want that black dollar. But I would argue that they got more privilege than any white man, any black man. How can you have 12 jurors look at this case and see this boy did not steal anything, whether he had, and I would argue that they planted that gun on that boy. Because it doesn't make no sense for him to have a gun and be going to buy some water and change his mind, bottles of water, leave out the store. If he got a gun, what he running for? He gonna run down the street away from you and wave the gun back at you? That doesn't make any sense. But no witnesses were there. From my vantage point, that gun could have been planted on this young man. Where is the NAACP? Where is Black Lives Matter? Roland Martin, all of the Breakfast Club. Why did this happen in 2023 and a lot of us are just not hearing about this? But let me tell you something. If this Asian man was a white man, this would have been all over the news. It'd have been riots, protests. This boy, this ain't no situation where this boy was assaulting anybody. But it's crickets out here on mainstream media because it does not fit their narrative. And this happens all the time. This man has a history. In that 2018 situation with the man with the I mean, I'm just saying, yeah, the man stole something, but you can't go around shooting people that's running away from you. How did you not get no charges? We see this stuff going on in the government. This is political, man, with these Asian people. And I don't have nothing against Asian people, but we have to call a spade a spade. We see what's going on with China. You know, we ain't trying to tick off China right now with this Iran war going on. See, this is why I cover politics, because a lot of this stuff correlates with the war with Iran and China being one of their biggest financiers. I'm just saying, man, put two and two together. We ain't trying to take them people off right now. And with them having, I mean, the federal government gave them so much protection, $26 billion. Basically reparations. When that whole COVID thing was going on and they said COVID came from China, and, you know, the Chinese people felt as though, the Asian people rather, felt as though they were being targeted. I don't have no problem with them, you know, but where's, as young black men in America, where are our hate crime bills? And I'm gonna say it, man. A lot of times when these situations happen with law enforcement, white people commit these crimes, they go to jail. With the knee on the neck and all that, that man's still in jail. But these Asian people, I'm noticing any and every time they do something, they get away with unaliving, especially, particularly if it's a black or a Hispanic individual that is being unalived. These Asian people have certain protections over them. They got connections in the government where they have, on the, not just the federal level, on the local level, where they get away with this type of behavior. I'm curious to understand what was the credentials, what were the jury instructions where this boy posed no threat, where they found it wasn't no hung jury, nothing. What did what was the judge connections? What was the prosecutor's connections? Why didn't they question if this boy had a gun to begin with? They never disputed that, which from my vantage point doesn't even really matter. If he's 100 feet to 150 feet away from your establishment and he didn't steal anything, I don't care if he did steal a bottle of water. You have no right to unalive this boy. Where is the outrage? It should be protests all over the place. But hey, man, I just wanted to bring this story. I'm gonna do some more research on this because this has to stop. This has to be highly publicized, because out of all the situations I've seen where young black men have been unalive, this is one of the worst case scenarios. Because this boy posed no threat to nobody. You have a right to go to any store, convenience store, and change your mind if you don't want to buy nothing without being racially profiled. This is Voices for the Voiceless. It's your boy Jay Taylor. We love y'all. And until next time, prayers up for the family. Rest in peace to that young man, Cyrus Carmack-Belton. Peace and blessings. Love.